From Washington, this is VOA News. President Obama calls for assistance in the battle against Ebola. The head of the FBI warns of possible terrorist plot planning against the United States. I'm Ira Mellman reporting. U.S. President Barack Obama is calling for nations around the world to do more to combat the deadly Ebola epidemic in West Africa, saying the disease threatens regional and global security. He spoke Thursday at a high-level United Nations meeting on Ebola, warning of the potential humanitarian crisis that could kill hundreds of thousands of people over the coming months. The World Health Organization says the death toll is nearing 3,000.
If this epidemic is not stopped, this disease could cause a humanitarian catastrophe across the region. And in an era where regional crises can quickly become global threats, stopping Ebola is in the interest of all of us.
President Obama praised the UN efforts to contain the spread of the disease in the worst-hit countries, Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Liberia, but he said the world is not moving fast enough. He said we are not doing enough. Terrorist plots against the United States and Europe may still be in the works despite this week's airstrikes against the al-Qaeda cell known as Khorasan. FBI Director James Comey told reporters in Washington Thursday he is not confident at all that attacks by U.S.-led coalition had disrupted Khorasan's plans. Comey said the Khorasan group remains at the top of the FBI's list of terrorism concerns. It's comprised of al-Qaeda veterans from Afghanistan and Pakistan, according to Comey. U.S. intelligence officials say Khorasan's been trying to perfect a non-metallic bomb that can evade airport security. This is VOA News. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry, Iran's foreign minister, and a top EU official were set to meet Thursday night in New York to take stock of the ongoing negotiations on limiting Iran's nuclear program in exchange for lifting some economic sanctions. Earlier in the day, Iran's President Hassan Rouhani said his country is committed to serious and honest negotiations but will not stop enriching uranium. VOA State Department correspondent Scott Stearns has more from the United Nations.
President Rouhani says the pressures of sanctions over Iran's nuclear program have made Iranians mistrustful of powers behind those sanctions. He told the UN General Assembly that getting a deal on Iran's nuclear program would be an historic opportunity for the West to show that it does not oppose the advancement and development of others. President Rouhani is heard here through a translator.
This agreement can carry a global message of peace, security, indicating that the only way to attain conflict resolution is through negotiations and respect, and not through conflict and sanctions.
President Rouhani told the United Nations that Iranians will pursue their full nuclear rights under international law, in keeping with national pride and independence. Scott Stearns, VOA News at the United Nations.
U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder has decided to resign after heading the U.S. Justice Department for 6 years. President Barack Obama said it was a bittersweet moment to accept Holder's resignation. Appearing alongside the president at the White House, Holder said he will never leave the work. He said, "I'll continue to serve and try to make our nation even more true to its founding ideals." Holder says he has no immediate plans once he steps down and intends to remain in the post until his successor is in place. Holder is the first black attorney general and has served in the job since President Obama took office in 2009. Police in Nigeria say one of more than 200 girls kidnapped by the Islamist group Boko Haram in April has been released. Police spokesman Emmanuel Ojukwu said that a 20-year-old woman who was among those kidnapped 5 months ago was found Wednesday in the village of Mubi in Adamawa State. The girl said she spent several days in the bush after being released by Boko Haram. The girl's identity has not been confirmed, however, and an elder from the community of Chibok, where the girls were abducted, said the name the girl gave for herself was not on the list of kidnapped women. He said the girl had been traumatized and was unable to communicate clearly. Nigeria's government has been criticized for its slow response to the kidnappings and failure to rescue the victims, and false hopes have been raised before. I'm Ira Mellman in Washington.
That's the latest world news from VOA.